The Gyo Obata Fellowship is an opportunity for underrepresented students and people in St. Louis to get involved in arts nonprofits around the city, as well as network with nonprofit leaders and each other. My name is Taimi Jisasan, and I am a Gyo Obata Fellow.
The program really emphasizes that you don't have to have any prior experience with arts administration, and the program also really values diversity. It's a really good resource for people who might not otherwise have access to things like this.
The Gyo Obata Fellowship aims to place 10 students within specific arts nonprofits within St. Louis to hopefully foster an appreciation for the arts and to instill different career opportunities.
It's a one of a kind. You can't find something else like it out there. You have to be here, be in the experience, go to the organizations, get to know the other fellows, and just really be willing to open your mind to just different things such as this one.
It's a chance to connect with peers and mentors who have been in the arts longer than you, and just really dig deep on some of the complex aspects to the art world that students don't always get exposure to.
The Gyo Obata Fellowship program brings together students from different backgrounds with cultural institutions across St. Louis to provide them with experiences that they might not get inside the classroom.
I chose to apply for the Gyo Obata Fellowship because I wanted to pursue my passion for art education, as well as see what the nonprofit environment looked like for the arts.
I always hear about St. Louis arts and what they have, and just there's so much to do in St. Louis. And I'm like, okay, how do I get over there? And this fellowship has been a great way to really expose me to what's over here and just the people behind the scenes.
I applied for the fellowship because I wanted to learn a lot about arts management and specifically working in a nonprofit arts organization.
I'm very interested in arts management and learning how cultural institutions operate. I like to learn by experiencing, so this seemed like the perfect opportunity.
When I was younger, I had met some past Gyo Obata Fellows, and they seemed really knowledgeable and super cool. And I was like, oh my God, one day I want to do that.
I'm sort of in a phase where I almost kind of don't know what I don't know. And so I kind of just wanted to be a sponge for all of the different experiences.
The Luminary applied to be part of the Gyo Obata Fellowship because of the legacy of the fellowship and of Gyo Obata and the strengths of the Gateway Foundation as a local organization. We knew that whatever fellow that got paired with us would be a wonderful asset to have over 10 weeks for our summer program, and it definitely was.
It was really important to bring on a Gyo Obata Fellow in this season so that we could continue the public art initiative that we've been working on and we're funded to do.
Honestly, we needed a little bit of help in our department, and also we wanted that infusion of energy and ideas that come with bringing a student or a young person into your work.
The mentorship program, you get paired up with a student for about 10 weeks and you make time to engage with them and have conversations about their personal life, the places that they work at, and just how to navigate.
It was really encouraging for me to be able to talk to someone on a weekly basis who has been in the field for so long, who knows so much, and also is in a different kind of organization than my host site, so I could kind of bounce ideas off of her, ask her some of those questions that I didn't necessarily want to ask the SLAM staff, and really form a great relationship with someone who generally cares for your success.
My mentor was Shayla Ford of Focus St. Louis. I found it really interesting how curious she was about me, and she seemed really genuinely invested in getting to know me and understanding what I needed, how she could support me throughout this fellowship. And that made me feel really comfortable to ask her questions. She was able to really build up a lot of trust pretty quickly between us, which I was almost in awe of that skill, just on its own.
I chose to be a mentor because my life is based on mentorship. Who helped you? I always think about that. I've read plenty of books and I've done plenty of things, but it was somebody's soft touch to step in my life and say, hey, think about it like this, navigate it this way. Or sometimes it's just simple encouragement. You're doing it right. Keep doing it.
My name is Dr. Heather Sweeney. I am the Executive Director of the Gateway Foundation. The Gyo Obata Fellowship is a program by the Gateway Foundation. Gyo Obata is a world-renowned architect, founder of HOK. In his early St. Louis works, he did the design for the Bristol Primary School. A key concept of that was the shared collaborative learning spaces that he devised. That innovation, that sharing and creation in taking ownership of your learning is what we are instilling in the Gyo Obata Fellowship, offering our fellows an opportunity to lead in their learning, to collaborate with peers, and to learn alongside arts leaders in the arts ecosystem. It was April 1942. Gyo Obata's family was sent to a temporary detention center, while fortunately, Gyo had just recently received an acceptance to Washington University's architectural program in St. Louis. While Gyo studied here in St. Louis, his family spent time in that temporary detention center. Gyo Obata's father set about creating arts coursework for his fellow internees. While at the temporary detention center, they established about 90 courses, and then when they were moved to a more permanent facility, he was able to bring in knitting and sewing and ikebana. Ikebana was a course that was taught by Gyo Obata's mother. Ikebana is the art of flower arranging, and in ikebana each bloom carries significance and meaning, one of which is the himawari, or the sunflower, which is the icon that you see in the Gyo Obata Fellowship logo and branding. It is our way of acknowledging and highlighting Gyo Obata's family in the offering of his life and legacy to this program.
We would absolutely be interested in hosting a fellow again. It's our obligation to train up the next generation. And given the opportunity that the Gateway Foundation presented, it's our obligation to take advantage of that and benefit the region through participating in the fellowship program.
In a perfect world, I would be like, can we keep her? And I would just ask for Maya back, because I am like literally struggling with grief as she's getting ready to leave. Yes, the short answer is yes. Please let us know when and how soon we can apply for another Gyo Obata Fellow. It would be our honor to host again.
Our experience was very positive, and I would definitely consider hosting a fellow in the future. It's so meaningful to be able to introduce young people to the work that we do. It's so important, and it's so edifying to see what they bring to it and how they really bring what we do to life.
The skills that I improved the most upon throughout this experience is my writing, especially in a more professional setting. My background is aligned with art, so my writing can be a little bit more lucid. So seeing how that writing translates to a more professional setting when talking about data and impact has been very interesting to see.
I understood museums, but I didn't understand the financial aspect. Now, after completing this fellowship, I'm confident about having those difficult conversations with donors and individuals. I can write grants, I understand grants, and I also understand the museum and nonprofits from a financial but also a social perspective.
I've also learned about different avenues within arts nonprofits that are achievable to have a career in, and have definitely sparked my interest.
I've really gotten like a better grasp of how my skills, the ones I already have, will better fit into a job after I graduate in arts administration. The biggest skill I've gained has been like learning to talk to strangers, learning to like put myself out there and advocate for like my own needs. Like every week I was like learning a new lesson. Like it was crazy.
You are capable of doing these things, and it's nothing wrong with you telling your leadership that I'm ready and I'm willing to do it. And if you fall, that's all right. I've been doing it a while and I still bump my head all the time, so it's okay.
I think my experience so far at Intersect has shown me how much work goes into nonprofit, and considering that the past work I've done to help with our education and communities has been mostly myself, it's making me realize how much additional help and resources it takes to run something that has longevity. So I think it's given me a lot of perspective in the work that I want to do in the future.
Even if I don't have a clear vision of what I want to do in the future, I know that I have experienced or at least gotten a small glimpse of these roles and how I might be able to move towards them.
So my favorite part about the fellowship has honestly been like all the great people that I've got to meet throughout this entire experience. And then even like at the Shakespeare Festival, I got to go on so many like different visits around St. Louis and explore the city more.
To the next fellows that come through for the next year, I say, have your goals in mind, have what you want to do in mind, but at the same time, be willing to experience, live, and learn as you go through the next 10 weeks of your summer. Be willing to step out of your comfort zone. Be willing to build relationships within the workshops with your mentors, with your supervisors, or even just with the fellows. Just be willing to live, learn, and experience.